Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adriana. If you guys are new here, please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you guys will see every time I post a new video. Let's get into it. Today we're not doing a normal get ready with me type of deal. Instead, we are going to be doing your makeup look according to TikTok. So you basically put in my makeup type on your phone and it'll pop up. When I looked up on my TikTok my makeup look, it gave me latte toasty makeup tutorial. Honestly, I 110% agree with that. I am very darker when it comes to my makeup, so I'm really actually happy that it gave me this and it didn't give me some random K-pop girly type of look. So I figured we would follow this tutorial, which is a 15-step tutorial, and we're gonna try it and we're gonna see how it works out for me. So maybe this might become my new routine, maybe it might not. My hair is not down today, it is up. I did not wash it last night, that is why. So tonight I'm gonna wash it. If this becomes my new tutorial, you guys will know exactly how I did it. So here we go, let's do this together. Alright, so starting off, it's saying to start with your primer. I'm just gonna turn down my light so you guys can be able to see that hopefully. Turn down my primer, okay, and it says to use the e.l.f. or the Milk. And I just so happen to have the e.l.f. in the pink one. So it says to put it on your forehead. Do a little bit more than that. Okay, and then right here and right here. And it does not say to put anything on your chin. I'm following this directly, whether I was supposed to or not, or if it's just saying use primer in general. I am following it to the T. So there is, oh, I just got that in my eye. So there is no way I can hear from anybody or in general that I did not do it right. So there also will be no cuts in this because I do not edit my videos. So this is all how it's like actually going. And it's not starting out too hot by putting primer in my eye. But luckily I think it just got on my eyelid. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so that's starting off with the primer. I do not usually put on primer every day. I usually don't. But typically I have my Refi, I have my e.l.f., and then I also got the NYX one. The NYX is not sticky at all. But lately I've been spraying this NYX that's a prime, set, and refresh. So I've been doing that all together. Just saying. Moving on is brows. I hate doing my brows right after in the base start because I feel like when it comes to brows, I tend to put makeup over them anyways, so I hate that. Alright, it says to use your gel. I actually used to have the Got To Be Glued, which is what it's telling me to use, but I reformed from it and do not use that brand anymore because it would flake up on my eyebrows. So, unfortunately, I do not use that anymore. It also says to fill in your eyebrows, and I do not ever fill in my eyebrows. I'm going to make the attention to. I'm not going to do it too dark. I'm actually probably going to do barely any, so you probably won't even be able to notice. But I'm just going to give it that little benefit of the doubt and actually go along with that to see. So, with that being said, I'm going to start off by filling in my brows. Okay, I did not mean for that to drop. I don't know really how I'm going to do this because, once again, I never fill in my brows. And when I do, it's always way too dark. So I'm going to go with the lightest shade. Okay, and I'm just going to fill it in very little. Yes, I am using my eyeshadow because I do not, once again, ever fill in my eyebrows. So I never have the use to need an eyebrow thing. Color, whatever you want to call it. That's literally all I'm adding because I do not want to even make the attempt with that. I also barely ever add eyebrow gel. I use very, very little just because I don't like how it shapes my eyebrows, but we are willing to try. You know, I almost thought that every time it gave everybody toasty makeup, but it doesn't because I've watched other videos and some people actually don't get just toasty makeup. Also, I know one of my eyebrows looks thinner than my other. I promise you it's not. It's just the way it always lays itself down. that they're actually both the exact same thickness and everything in between. It's just how my eyebrows are, and I refuse to try to fix it. This one also might look a little bit shorter, but I refuse to fix it because I like how my eyebrows look. Is that really a problem? Also, that also brings me back to my eyebrows though. The other thing that I have problems with is how dark they look once I like put gel over them. So I really do try to just leave them as natural as I can. So I'm gonna just kind of make them do whatever they want to do, so that way that's not the reason I don't like this makeup routine. Moving on, it says to put on foundation, which I'm so not used to because typically I put on my foundation after I put on my contour, bronzer, whatever. With that also being said, I usually do skin prep, which I didn't do. So with foundation, we're actually NARS or Charlotte Tilbury, which I do not have either of. We're gonna go in, I'm gonna actually, what's next up? Okay, the next is concealer. I thought it was a skin tint, so I wanted to make sure. So I'm gonna go in with the MCO Beauty. This one is the one that tends to work for me. This looks like it's wanting it to be full coverage, which once again I do not ever do. So I'm willing to put it on my cheeks like it says because I do have like rosacea, but yeah. Alright, this is actually where I would typically put it. I do typically put it here. So far, besides it being out of order, this is what I would typically do when doing my makeup. So I feel like we're really not doing anything different. I am going to blend it in with a brush today and see if that helps. Oh no, it does not. But look how dirty my beauty blender is. I know, I gotta clean my blenders. I just haven't done it, which I know I should, but alright, there we go. Blend that out. So one thing that I do like about this foundation is it's not total coverage and it's not too heavy. It's a very light foundation, and honestly that is what I prefer when it comes to my makeup, because I do not like looking like I have makeup on to an extent, but at the same time I don't want it to look so caked on that it's not even funny. So tonight I gotta babysit my neighbors. My mom's gonna go over there because sometimes they want me over there with my mom, sometimes they don't, but just because of the time they have her over there, and also because my mom's off. On a normal day though, if I were to watch the kids and it's like late, they don't care. I'm pretty good with that. Like, I never have a problem. The kids are always asleep by the time they get home, so it's just what works today. So I'm getting ready for that. It's not till 7, it's only 3:30, but we're also gonna go get Chinese. So moving on, oh yeah, I also want to show you guys, see where they tell you to put it? I put it there. Moving on is concealer. So here's what it's showing, and now I'm going to put on my concealer. It recommends Tarte. I do not have Tarte, and because I actually don't like how Tartes look. And then they also have Born This Way, I think it is, or Born to Be, something like that. I forget. I really do want to try that one though. Once again, it's telling me to put concealer in spots that I did not put any type of prep on, and it's also telling me to put on spots where it is so, like, because of the elf, it's so primed up, it's not even funny. Alright, so it's telling me to underneath my eye like this. I'm gonna make a little smaller area because my eye's not as big as obviously they're showing on the model. And also this goes a long way too far actually. I would say it looks pretty similar. I feel like it may be a little bit pointier at the top, so I'm gonna point that. Okay, and then it also says to put some right here and right here. So I know this is supposed to be like a toasty makeup look, which I'm really nervous when they're gonna tell me I need to put the contour, because I don't know what I'm gonna do then. Okay, and then it looks like it's telling me to put it right here. I'm gonna put it there. I don't know if it is or not. I'm just gonna say it is because I think it is. Moving on, let's blend this up. I'm so nervous. I'm gonna go with my forehead first so that does not set and I somehow now have concealer on my forehead. Okay, so the first problem that I am noticing, and I am definitely 100% blaming the primer for this, is my forehead is starting to shed or peel or whatever you want to call it. I do blame that on e.l.f. because I have learned it does not mix with the makeup that I have specifically. So unfortunately, e.l.f., you are going to be the cause of that. And even though, and it's always on my forehead too, but it's because I get the most tan on my forehead. So that's definitely a problem that I do have with e.l.f. And I am not afraid to say it because this is not PR'd anywhere, or I do not get paid with e.l.f. to say that their product is good, which in general I wouldn't, because that actually aggravates the crap out of me when someone does. So I will say, maybe at this moment it's not e.l.f. Maybe it's because my eyebrows got in the way and that's what happened. But e.l.f. is usually the cause, the root of that cause. Luckily it's not noticeable from afar, but if you get up like really close to my forehead, you can definitely tell. Alright, so now that we are all blended in and my face is all caked, which I would say if I were to do this routine on a normal daily basis, I would definitely use a lot less makeup than what I'm using because I do not like full coverage. Just saying. Moving on, contour / cream bronzer. Okay, it recommends Pixie, which I do not have, or recommends Rare Beauty, which I also do not have. So the one I'm going to go with, since it does, let's see, okay, since it does recommend bronzer or anything cream, I'm going to go on with the Rare Beauty. I feel like it does blend very nice. I have a lot of other contour bronzers. They all work really nice, but so far, out of all the ones I've had, my absolute favorite is the Rare Beauty one. Also, yes, I did have nails on yesterday. I'm going to get them fixed sometime soon. I don't know because I have a busy week this week, so I don't know when. It might be next week. Just know though, they literally fell off, which hey, I had them for like 3.5 weeks, so. Alright, it's time to go down with this. I also, oh, it does say to have contour on my nose, which I will do, but I'm just gonna blend this first before, once again, it just kind of sets in. So once again, this one, like, look how easily that blended into. Like, I don't know how anybody can really hate on her products or hate on her in general. This is the only product I do have from her, but when I do go into Sephora or Ulta, and I do, well, Ulta, I don't know if Ulta has her. I honestly don't know. I haven't been to Ulta in forever, but her products I love to go and try. I love to see what's new, and they always eat down. Like, they're always so good. All right, I need a different beauty blender. So I do just want to say, like, I love her products fully. They are so great. I do honestly need to get more of her products. I just know they last so long, and I love getting new products all the time. So the commitment issue. All right, moving on my nose. Whenever I do contour my nose, Rare Beauty is the one I use. I do not use any other one. So I'm actually really happy that it says Rare Beauty as an option, but I'm also really happy that it's wanting me to contour my nose. I do not do it that often because I actually do like how my nose looks, believe it or not. But when I do, which is not that often, but when I do use the Rare Beauty one. Because I also do not put anything on my nose because it just never ever looks good. I tend to blend it in with the beauty blender that I use with my foundation or my concealer because my nose is a little bit brown. Oh, that had water in it. So I'm gonna try to blend that to the best that I can. Oh my gosh, my forehead is peeling so bad. Alright, there we go. I would recommend, honestly, so far, is just don't use primer. At least with any of the products that I'm using, just don't do it. Because that is one of my biggest issues right now, is the stupid primer. Once again, e.l.f., I love your products, but there are some things you need to work on, and unfortunately for me, it's the primer. Like, work on that, please. Alright, my nose is like a little brown, so I'm gonna blend it out. Alright, moving on, we are now going on to liquid blush. or cream. I hate blush. I actually hate that with a passion. Right now, I don't feel like anything is dark on my face. I mean, I guess I do have a little bit better of a contour right now, so now I know where to sculpt my face. But besides that, though, I don't see really any difference compared to what I usually do, and it's actually kind of bothering me. So moving on, it's recommending Rhode or Rare Beauty. I do not use Rare Beauties. I don't own Rare Beauties, but I do have Rhode. A little goes a long way, and the amount that it's telling me is actually crazy. Also, with that being said, I'm going to do one side blend it, other side blend it, because I know how pigmented this is, and I'm not about to ruin this entire base slash whatever the heck you want to call it. So I'm going to blend it with a brush, but I'm also going to pull out a beauty blender and have it on the side in case of an emergency. So I know you're supposed to go up, and the fact that it's telling me to go down is very not usual. Like, I'm so used to it saying go up, and for it to tell me to go down is actually weird. I do not like that. Once again, I already do have naturally pink cheeks, so I tend to not put on blush and use this for my lips. But I do really like how that looks in in the contrast of everything else on. I feel like that really does just look fantastic. So Rhode, I will give it to you. So far, out of all your products that I've used, I really do love your makeup brand. So Hailey Bieber, I give it to you. Like, great job. Alright, let me make sure that this side isn't more pigmented. It is. It's a little bit more sunburnt. So this one is the tan line one. So it honestly, personally does give off the tan line look and like the sun-kissed burnt look. So yeah, there you go. That's how that one looks. I hate using blush. Yeah, I actually hate it. Alright, that's why I don't really own blush. I own two. Moving on, it's now saying powder. Finally, I was wondering when we would get into the powder. It's recommended Huda Beauty or NARS. I have Anastasia. I learned Mercier in the small ones, but neither of the ones that they are saying. And they're basically saying to put it everywhere where we just put everything. So let's do that. So it's saying down my forehead, which is me such a big regret of mine because it's already like shedding. Okay, and it's saying underneath my eyes, so the usual. I'm trying to like read this stupid thing because you can barely see where they're telling you to put this. Okay. Right there. And then also on the chin. I never add this much. We are blending it in with the beauty blender. I don't want to hear it. It blends in so much nicer than it does with the brush. And that's just my personal preference. So honestly, I would tell you guys just to try it because it really does always look so good whenever I blend it in with my beauty blender instead of a brush. And then right here, the dreaded area, who knows, this might actually help with the whole peeling situation. All right, I actually think it did. Right now, my makeup everywhere doesn't look cakey besides my nose and like right here because I never ever put makeup on my nose because I know how it looks. Right now, I look very matte and I do not like that, but at the same time, I look very cakey, but also not. It's very, if you get really close up, you can definitely see the cakiness. You go far away, you obviously do not see the cakiness. So that is definitely one complaint that I will say I have. Once again, if it was up to me, I would add a little bit less makeup than what we have already. Moving on is to powder bronzer. I do have Charlotte Tilbury, but that is absurd. What the heck? I'm gonna go with the lighter shade of one that I have because the other one's just ridiculous. Alright, let's go in. So I've actually been adding this onto my makeup every day. So I feel like it's nothing too crazy per se, but at the same time it is, because like really. All right, that's all we're gonna add. And I now see the colors coming together, but I do definitely need to blend that out a little bit. So I will say, after I'm done eating dinner, I'm gonna end up coming back in here and there's gonna be another film video. It's gonna be me recreating this because I'm not about to wear this over to my neighbor's house because of how caked on it is. I just personally cannot. And it's gonna be me doing this exact same look my way though. How I would do it, how I would make it look not cakey. Just saying. Powder blush. I don't own any powdered blush. I don't own blush in general. Let's use my eyeshadow palette because I do got some colors that could probably work as blush. All right, this is going to go in the lightest it possibly can. We're gonna use the Rustic Peach. Oh my god. Okay, that's all we're doing. That is all we're doing, and blending that as soon as possible. I love the glow it gives, but once again, I am not anywhere wanting to be involved in blush. Mascara. Finally, I've been waiting for mascara. So I actually did used to have the Sky High one, and now I don't, because I literally used it and never got it back. I do have Telescopic, and I have Revolution, which it looks like the packaging of Sky High, so we're just gonna go along with that. Also, we're on slide 11 out of 15, so we're almost there. I really do need to get that piece of mascara off though. Okay, there we go. The makeup routine that they're literally giving them right now is the way to get acne so quick. Like, let's be so for real. So if you follow this, maybe that's why. Just saying. But you guys will be seeing a video of me trying this my way, and you guys will see that after I eat dinner, so just be expecting that. I love these two mascara combos, Telescopic L'Oreal in blue, and then the Revolution, whatever one this one is. Like, it is the best combo you could actually have. I personally love it to death, and it will definitely be a mascara that I'm so willing to repurchase. I feel like this is for people who can't tan, honestly, this routine, because I on a natural do a toasty look for my makeup when I do makeup. Like, I haven't worn makeup to school. I just wore it yesterday to school. So, like, for the first time in 3 weeks. So, and every time I do toasty. But for the most part, it's called go outside. It's called get a tan. If you honestly can't get a tan, which I understand some people just, like, do not tan, different story. But for someone who can tan, I don't do it. Alright, setting spray. It's recommending the airbrush or the one size. I don't have either. We're gonna go within the NYX, because the Bear With Me one, because personally this one is not as heavy as the NYX of which one? The NYX, the face glue setting spray, because that thing is just heavy as heck. I don't want to soak my face, but I do want it set. Two different things, and the thing will come out dripping. Alright, lip liner. Finally! I was wondering if we were going to use lip liner. I recommend a dark one, and it says the NYX. I don't know which NYX one that is, but I do have a NYX. This is NYX. Okay, this one hurts. Inky. This one's really, really light. I actually have a NYX one in my bag for school. I love. Actually, no, we're not gonna put this on. We're gonna do this one, which is Elf's, because it is so much darker. Okay, there's my lip liner. I'm gonna blend it in just a little bit. I don't like blending it in fully. Okay, there it is blended. Lip gloss, it's NYX Butter Gloss or Heat from Fenty. I hate that. I'm so sorry, Fenty. I know that sounds a little mean, but I actually do not like your guys' products. It burns my lips off. So I'm gonna go for clear gloss. Just because if I add any more of a darkness, it will be way too dark for my lips. So we're gonna go with the lip oil, which will essentially enhance the darker lip, in my personal opinion, than adding more darkness to it. So, and this is the Ulta Beauty lip oil. It is miracle working. It's so good. And apparently that's it. Looking at the models though, I'm gonna be real here. Looking at the models on here, they all have eyeliner, and going back, let me see. There was no eyeliner at any point, which does kind of get me because it's like, well, what is that? You know, what is that? So we are gonna add some eyeliner just because I do want to kind of match, at least at some point, because I actually do wear eyeliner. I don't wear it on me often, but I do wear it. Me personally, I would recommend do eyeliner before any other step, because then you gotta touch your eye and essentially it'll make a spot somewhere. Okay, so I did very light eyeliner because I don't want it too dark, because this is not my makeup look that I think needs how it needs to be done. So you guys will see that later tonight. I think it could definitely be done different order, different way totally, but I will most definitely give it to whoever came up with that. I just think couple changes need to be done, but I'm not gonna judge in that way. I'm just gonna say that it's good. It's definitely my look. It just needs to be attempted and put out in a different way and a little bit less makeup for me. You guys will definitely see the tutorial of how I would personally do it once I eat dinner, so that will be in a little bit after I post this, but it will end up happening because I want you guys to see it, be able to see that you guys can be able to do this look in such a lightweight makeup without making it look as cakey as they are telling you to. So with the final look, here it is. This is the final look. I do like how the blush played out, but I do feel like I once again already have natural red cheeks, so I don't really gotta worry about that. But here's the final look. So we will do a comparison once I do mine. But yeah, I honestly think it turned out really good, and I feel like it does give off me 110%. But we definitely need to figure out how to do a little bit lighter makeup. Anyways, guys, that is it, and bye.